I'm as German as you. How dare you?
Please welcome Jason Isaac. Hello, Jason. Lovely to see you.
I want to be a loose woman. What have I got to do?
Do you know you're in?
Hold on.
You're fine.
I'm back there shouting at the telly, desperate to join in the conversation.
What bits were you shouting about?
Oh, just everything you're all getting wrong about life. And, you know, it's not a subject that you can bring up that I wouldn't disagree with almost all of them.
Jason, correct us then. What are we getting wrong?
Well, for a start, alcoholism isn't a choice. It's, you know, and drug addiction isn't a choice at all. It might be the very first time you take a drink, but for some people, certain section of the population, it's a disease. And, you know, it's not a choice at all.
Yeah, well, it can become a disease, yes, but you know, and most people know when they're going to that point of no return, don't they? And you still do make a choice whether or not you go into oblivion or you get out of it.
Yeah, but most people, they're not alcoholics. This is about alcoholics. It's not about people who drink too much. People who drink too much aren't alcoholics.
But Linda...
People who like getting stoned aren't drug addicts.
No, Linda!
But the difference between alcoholism and being a drunk are completely different.
You did see some danger in what you were doing.
I know, I shared a dressing room with you without you knowing it. I did a show at the King's Head once on a Sunday night, and you were in there during the week, I think.
Yes.
And we went through all your privates. I think there might have been the odd bottle of something. Yeah.
Exactly.
You won't be the first to say that about Linda.
So what else were you shouting about?
Well, we don't know whether Prince Andrew insisted that his daughters were shadowed. I'm sure that Princess Eugenie doesn't want 5 people watching her when she takes her kit off on the beach. You know, so it's the last thing she wants for a start. We can't accuse her of wanting to be followed by big burly men with black boxes over their eyes or whatever. And the other thing is that we've no idea whether they get death threats or anything. We're not privy to any of that information. We haven't got a clue.
You've got 2 girls, haven't you?
I've got 2 little girls.
Now, what would you say if they went off backpacking around the world? Would you
I'm
like to send a
hoping that I
bodyguard
make enough money so that I can hire undercover detectives to befriend them, pretend to be lovely, eunuchs, obviously.
Yeah.
But who can follow them round and just, pile it on.
They'll be ringing home going, Dad, there's these funny men with false moustaches. They keep popping up everywhere.
By then I hope that there's the holographic gap years they can take where they sit in their front room but feel like they're on the beach in Bali. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, go on. Speaking of eunuchs, do you think you could possibly spend 3 months alone without...
I didn't know castration was involved.
Yes, I've got that.
Just putting your phone down.
Sorry, I don't know where
Bloody
that
hell.
came from.
I almost signed up. I'm glad you told me.
Could you be a recluse for 3 months?
I find it hard when the battery dies on the phone for a day. I'm a total addict of my crackberry. So I don't know what I do. I have tried. I mean, occasionally I go away on location.
You're a producer now, kind of, aren't you, with your latest film?
Yeah, what's that got to do?
I'm trying to move you into...
thank you so much. God, you're so... Thank God one of us is professional.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
I think it's great when actors go into the other side of it.
Do you know what I did to produce this film? The real producer is a friend of mine, Miriam, and she'd been making this film, trying to make the film for 6, 7, 8 years, and finally we had it ready to make. We're in Germany preparing the film, and the whole crew are there. They've been there for weeks, and the money, the real big chunk of the $15 million was arriving on Wednesday, and it was a Friday, the day before, and the crew hadn't been paid for weeks, and there wasn't what they call bridge finance. There wasn't pre-production cash to pay the crew till Wednesday. And I knew it was really definitely arriving, so I wrote a cheque out to pay the crew until Wednesday. And it was my cheque that made the whole thing collapse. And the film went away and all the money fell out of it. And she said, I'll get you your money back. And she did. She got all the money back.
She put absolutely
and she raised all the money to pay me, everyone
she?
in Germany, and make the film again in a different country with a different star and a different director, and it's much better. So
tell us a bit about it. Well, who do you play?
Well, the film's called Good, and it's about responsibility, personal responsibility. It's set in Germany in the 30s, and it's about Viggo Mortensen, who's the ladies' favourite everywhere we go.
Not necessarily, Jason.
And he's a very good man in Germany in the 30s, and it's about the small moral compromises we all make every day in our lives that we would probably make were we in Germany in the 30s, and before you know it, you're in deep with the Nazi Party, or you haven't stood up, in the way that we would like to think we might stand up.
And who do you play?
I play his best friend, Morris, who's a Jewish psychiatrist, and one of the reasons you can't show a clip of me, a full clip of me, is that I swear it's a very untypical Jewish character to see in the 30s, in that he's a womanizer, he's very confident, very outgoing, and he overshadows Viggo's character in every way, and during the course of the film their friendship changes as Viggo's character becomes slightly more empowered, gets a little bit more status, which is very seductive for him. And the thing is, it's set then, and it's a beautiful and subtle kind of ethical thriller. But the reason I wanted to do it, the reason all of us were drawn to doing it, is that, like you said, I've got 2 little girls. I find modern life very challenging. I think of myself as a decent person, but if I saw people making this in a sweatshop, maybe I wouldn't have bought it, you know. I'm a big New Labour supporter, you know. I'm thrilled what they've done in every area. They put a lot of money... put a lot of money in. They put a lot of real money and, into education and into the health service and stuff. However, let's see what would have happened had the Tories been in. But anyway, what I'm saying is the party that I support also has supported torture and invading a country and locking people up without access to a lawyer. And I haven't been storming the doors of Parliament, so who am I to point the finger at people in the 30s and say what they should have done when other people were rising to power?
So what you're saying, this film Good is about a very good German who just ended up...
It's about a perfectly decent person, like we all are, and how the country was full of perfectly decent people, and how the small compromises you make daily build up cumulatively, and how, really, it's about how we all need to make sure, you know, because the easiest thing to do is go, you know what, I've no idea what to do morally anymore, I'll just look after my kids. I'll feather my own nest. There is a line in the sand somewhere. It gets really obscure, but we have to make sure every day we look for it.
Jason,
that's the point. Modern life is
very
like that.
briefly, next Sunday is a very important day for you because, of course, you're BAFTA nominated for... it's quite a tricky one. It's the Curse of Steptoe, and you're playing Harry H. Corbett.
I am.
Again, very, very briefly, what do you think you brought to the part to not make it an impersonation, if you like?
Nothing. Harry H. Corbett was such an incredibly talented man. I'm just piggybacking on his talent and his popularity, and I get an award for fantastic writing and direction. I get an award. I get a nomination, which is an amazing privilege, but frankly, it should be a nomination for the best part. I'm just lucky to get it.
You're a lovely man. It's Jason Isaacs, everyone.